What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy in light, Luciferian Prince. You know what I'm saying? Coming at y'all. You know what I'm saying? I have had some people have made comments in the comment section about their status. Listen, don't prove it to me. Prove it to the beast. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what you think you are. Please don't prove it to me. Prove it to them. That's who it matters to. And like I said, I'm not here to start no beef, with nobody, no groups. Please understand that. I mean, if anything, fall in a nutshell, it is what it is. You know what it is. And for the most part, yeah, our last video, it went in. You know what I'm saying? It went in. Yeah, man. But your ass. Bet you wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more to it. Now, what I'm going to touch today, what I'm going to get into today, is the principal obligation. Yes, people. Most people in this realm of contemplative thought never elaborate on what the principal obligation is. And yes, pardon me, the AC is on. It is extremely hot outside. And I'm only like this because I'm inside. I don't wear this outside. You can't. And I can't. Seriousness though, the principal obligation is the obligation that's between the government, so to speak, and it arises from the relationship between the contractual nexus, such as the social security number, that they so choose to use, and it's the transference. And the straw man entity, which I will get to later once I actually get an opportunity to power up my war machine, because every place is out of chargers and I just can't seem to find mine. And until I power up my war machine, then I really can't do too much other than just freestyling off the top of stuff that I have had for years and things that I have had and I researched from definitions. So people, bear with me. I ain't going nowhere anyway. You're stuck in the house. You stuck. You know what I mean? You're stuck, Chuck. So, let's talk about what it really is. The contractual nexus between the straw man entity and the government, so to speak, who created it. So, most people who have researched and have received the hardware from private consultation from me can see now that it's considered a transmitting utility. So, if you have your lowercase name that has been turned to an all caps name that has now been contracted with an entity, whether a credit card company, whether a court situation, it doesn't matter. The obligation is being transferred through that name. That's how they interact with you in the commercial realm of what you deal with in your daily life. Until you come to that understanding, you're never going to get the concept of redemption. You have to redeem your natural self from out of that nexus that was created through the straw man entity. See? And now we're going to talk about principal obligations. And yes, agents, unfortunately, it's Saturday. And I don't have coffee, and I don't have data shift, so you're on your own. You're on your own. COVID-19, social distancing. Anywho, they mad. Principal obligation. Definition. Primary obligation. 1. An obligation that arises from the essential purpose of the transaction between the parties. 2. A fundamental contractual term imposing a requirement on a contracting party for which other obligations may arise. I call it the commercial hydra, also termed principal obligation. Definition of obligation. Obligation in its popular sense is merely a synonym for duty. Its legal sense, derived from Roman law, the corrupted system, differs from this in several aspects. In the first place, obligations are merely one class of duties, namely those which are correlatives of rights in personam. An obligation is the vinculum juris, or bond of legal necessity, which binds together two or more determinable individuals. Secondly, the term obligatio is in law the name not merely of the duty, but also of the correlative right. It denotes the legal relation or vinculum juris in its entirety, including the right of one party no less than the liability of the other. Looked at from the point of view, the person entitled, an obligation is a right. Looked at from one point of view of the person bound, it is a duty. An obligation, therefore, may be defined as a proprietary right in personam or a duty which corresponds to such a right. John Salmon, Jurisprudence 460. Glanville L. Williams, edition 1947. What did I just say, people? Let's look at it like this. Let's break it down in layman's terms. If you are indeed pulled over, say for instance, you get pulled over for a traffic ticket, and there's a fine for a fee or the usage of the straw man license that the court so wishes to impose. What they're going to do is they're going to give you a fine, community service, or they're going to give you some sort of detention, or sometimes all the above, because that's the transference of the principal obligation. The obligation arises from a fundamental contractual nexus, which is basically your license. And that's why it says which other obligations may arise. Obligations, in a sense, means duty. So now you are considered, for using your license, duty bound to pay fines and fees. So since you're considered duty bound to pay fines and fees in regards to the usage of the license, which again was taken out in the name of the straw man entity, then the government's going to transfer the principal obligation, which was implied to them because they extended it to you, and they should be the ones liable for paying it, but they put it on you, the natural person. See how easy that was? Wow. That's real. And unfortunately, agents, you ain't making no more money, man. You make no money, man, and don't get mad, because the truth is out there. Let's look at the definition of artificial person. First off, an entity such as a corporation created by law and given certain legal rights and duties of a human being, a being real or imaginary, who for the purpose of legal reasoning is treated more or less as a human being. So let's look at further. It says an entity is a person for purposes of the due process and equal protection clauses, but is not a citizen for purposes of the Privileges and Immunities Act in Article 4, Section 2, and in the 14th Amendment. So people, we have to actually come to a realistic premise in regards to this. What is all of this? The transference of the principal obligation is nothing more than what the government so wishes to impose upon everyone that it considers a 14th Amendment citizen, which they are supposed to be duty bound, sworn by oath of office to uphold, but they transfer to you, and that's how they get paid doubly, because it is a misuse and abuse of the legal practice. Now, am I ranting against the legal system? No, because there are people out here that do dumb stuff. We know that. Duh. I mean, of course, that's a small minority. But for the larger majority, we have to realize that the principal basis is that we have to come to a consensus of how we operate in this commercial venue, which is what we call in the domicile, planet Earth. I mean, realistically, yes. I mean, we do know that certain things in society are elemental in regards to the process of how they work and how they orchestrate their ongoing affairs, but we have to be realistic of how we, secure party creditors, deal and interface with that commercial venue. You know, we have to. And if we don't, then we're gonna fall into a very what's the word? A very detrimental, so to speak, situation in regards to our understanding of how this is. But if you know better, then of course you're gonna do better. You have to know the legal definitions and how they apply. The principal obligation is an obligation that arises from something that they create, but they place on you. So the secure party creditor process is basically you taking the obligation that they place on you and flipping it back on itself to keep your natural self out of personal harm. Yes, people, I'm back. You know what I mean? Get out my face, you motherfuckers that got a problem with this, man, because I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. I'm stuck. I'm in this. I'm in here. I'm in here. For the real ones, consult me, contact me via email. And if for those people who just wish to irritate me on the certain emails, please, if your email comes up as spam, I am not opening it. Period. So if you don't get a response, know that your email address is spam. And I'm not opening that. I'm not opening it at all. I throw them things away. Simple. But if real ones, consult me. Let me know what's going on. I'm going to leave off on this note in this upload. It's a quote that comes from Leonardo da Vinci. It says, hell happens when the evil of our world exceeds our belief that we can conquer. And that's a fact, you know? So people, I hope that everyone's in a good state of mind, everyone's safe, and I hope everyone has a safe day, you know? Take it easy. Mm-hmm. You know, watch some pre-recorded sports, because that's all on TV. I seen the Jets game from 1984. Shit. These folks recycling shit. Quarantine got these people going crazy. But make sure you keep your sanity no matter what, people. Peace. I love y'all. And agents, it's Saturday. Get off my channel, goddammit. Peace, y'all. Take care. Y'all be safe.